So this is Chestnut. Some of you may recall last year she was kind enough to foal during the daylight for us. We captured a good video of her. Warning, this could be a little graphic, but we're going to see if we can get her for 2024. Chestnut was wearing the birth watch foal alarm system, and it went off about 20 minutes ago telling me she was ready to foal. Well, looks like we've already got, easy baby, got 1 foot. We want, in a foaling, to have 2 feet. We've got 1 here, and you can just see the tip of the next one getting ready to come. Thankfully, Chestnut's a really chill girl. She doesn't mind my being back here. There's not a whole lot of mares I would do this with because it can be very distracting for them, but she's doing a great job. Easy, Chesty. So we have 2 feet coming out, and then the next thing we'll want is to see on top of that, those 2 feet, a nose. And she may get up and down a little bit. It just helps with getting everything positioned and keeping things moving along. We got this, big girl. So Chestnut's a very experienced brood mare. She's had quite a few foals for us. I am not going to get involved unless we get to a position where either things are not progressing or she clearly needs a little help. And this is pretty normal. She'll push a little bit and then she will take a minute to rest. What you're seeing around this foal is the amniotic sac. That's the sac that goes around the baby in the uterus, and all the fluid that the baby floats around in. I don't know how well it's going to show up on video. I can just see a nose peeking through with these feet when she pushes, so hopefully another good round of pushing and we'll be able to see that head coming out. Easy, big girl. Easy, big girl. So right here you can just see the nose starting to come out. These Brabants are such big babies. Big horses and big babies. Good girl. It's really tempting to just give a little pull sometimes and help her out. It's not necessary, but I guess it maybe just makes me feel a little better that I'm contributing something to this process. Easy, baby. Easy, baby. Just gonna reposition a little bit here. Okay, we're gonna get another round of good pushes. If you do assist, this applies to for sure calving and foaling. I've done those two, probably lambing as well. One thing you want to do is kind of walk those legs out. You don't just pull on the same leg all the time. They need to come out one at a time, get through that birth canal. So he's got 1 front leg coming out pretty well. Let's get this other leg caught up. This is kind of fun. You can see in the video a little bit of white. He's going to be a roan when he hits the ground. Chestnut's double agouti, which means he was definitely going to be either bay or bay roan. So I'm calling a bay roan on this one. Okay, big girl, got this. Poor girl needs a little breather. See if I can set this camera somewhere you'll still be able to see. Give her a little bit of a hand. That's not gonna work. Okay, big girl, you ready? You ready for a big push? Oh, we're gonna stand up. Stand up and reposition. Good job, baby. Good job. Foaling can be incredibly stressful, even when you know this is fairly normal. It's just hard to watch things progress slowly and out and back in, out and back in. Let me give you a hand with this one, okay? Let's see if we can get this leg out a little bit. You're gonna go back down. Give me a chance to help. Okay, go ahead, baby. Good girl. Good girl, Chestnut. Okay. So here's what we'll do. Easy, baby. You got this. You got this, big girl. Really like this. Come here. Okay. There we go. Good girl. All right, sorry about that minor pause. I just wanted to help her get that second leg coming out. Getting just a little bit hung up there. So, hey, beautiful. Once that front end came out, you could see his back end came, no problem. Chestnut taking a moment to breathe, and she did such a great job. Good job, Chestnut. Good job, Chestnut. Here's the little one, picking his head up. We broke that sack during foaling, but if that was still intact, we'd want to make sure, now that he's on the ground, that was off his nose so he could breathe some air. Hey, beautiful. Looking good. See all that white in with his red. Definitely a bay roan. Chestnut's sitting up. She says, hello, little man. So my camera timer says that was 7.5 minutes. So it's pretty amazing how quickly they get him on the ground once things start moving. I think we're gonna pause here. I'll help the two of them, and then we'll see if we can get some video of the little guy getting ready, get on his feet. Good job, lady. She's just gonna sit here for a minute, and she's gonna rest. He's gonna rest. It's a big day for him too. And then once they're a little recovered, she'll stand up and start nuzzling him, and he'll start to get the idea that it's time to get on his feet. So, be back soon. Back again. It's been about 5, maybe 10 minutes since this little lady hit the ground, and she is already thinking about getting up. I did take a peek and confirm it is a she, little bay roan, 100% European Brabant filly. So she is active and very willing. It's going to take some time for her to figure out exactly how to use those legs, but the general rule of thumb is you want them standing within an hour of birth. So she's starting to figure out that process, and here comes mom to say hi and check out all her hard work. Something I thought would be cool that you don't often see unless you're right there during delivery. Check out these hooves. These fancy little, we call them foal slippers. It's just a very, very soft coating. Let me see your foot, lady. Over that hoof, and it protects mom during delivery. So as she gets up and walking, those will kind of break off, and she'll just have a regular hoof underneath. But that's just something really cool that you can see shortly after birth on these babies. So she's got those front legs out in front of her, and she's got to figure out how to kind of push herself forward and get up on those front legs. So this is part of the process I often help with, whether it's just bracing those back legs so they have something to push against, or helping them straighten out those front legs. My theory is they will figure it out over time, but if I can get them up and eating sooner rather than later, so much better. So that's the next step in the process for us. I am flying solo today, so I won't be able to video much of that assistance, but we'll work on that and see if we can check back in with her once she's on her feet and getting ready to eat. And we have success. This poor little lady, hey Chestnut, easy there baby. She's anxious because there's another mare in the foaling paddock. This little lady has been trying and trying and trying, getting so close. I was helping her a little bit without too much success. Finally, I walked off to get a little bit of feed for Mom after such a grueling morning, and as I walked back, I saw her take one big leap and land on all 4 feet. So, good work, little girl. One thing that's not uncommon with newborn foals is you see these back legs have a little bit of extra slope to their pastern. The fronts are actually fairly upright, but it's not uncommon for that after they've been cooped up in mom for so long. It takes a few days for those ligaments to strengthen up and everything to get the right angles. So thankfully for her, it's not a problem. On occasion, you'll get one that's bad enough that it actually makes it hard for them to stand or move until everything straightens out. But she's going to practice here a little bit. She's going to walk around mom. She'll fall down a few times. She'll have to get back up. It's a very frustrating process to watch, to be completely honest. But as she practices, she'll get better and better, more comfortable, and you can kind of see she's already starting to nuzzle mom. She's wondering about her first meal and where breakfast might be. So as she gets more stable on those legs and figures out what she's doing there, we'll kind of help her find that udder and get something warm in her. It's a chilly morning here, so I feel bad for her being wet. We do dry off a little bit with towels and stuff, but it's kind of just part of the process. She'll dry off as the sun comes up and everything warms up a little bit, but in the meantime, moving around and getting some food in her will help keep her warm. You'll probably see the mare has not yet passed her placenta, so that's something else we'll be keeping an eye on just from a mare standpoint. She's got a couple hours after foaling to get that done and still be considered normal, so we will watch that, help her out with a little bit of medication if we need to. But in the meantime, mom and baby are bonding and everything looks really good, so can't ask for a better daytime foaling than that. Well, the little filly's been up and walking for about 20 minutes now. You can see she's already much more comfortable with those legs. She's been doing a little hopping around mom, a little bit of spunk. She's looking for that udder. That's going to be the next big step, is getting her to nurse. That first milk from mom is called colostrum, and it's full of antibodies and everything she needs to stay healthy early on in life, because those antibodies won't pass the placenta when she's pregnant. So, Jessie. So it's really important that they start nursing, because their digestive system can really only absorb those antibodies for the first 12 to 24 hours. We'll do what's called an IgG check on her when she's about 12 to 15 hours old, and that will help us see how much of those antibodies have been absorbed. But it's kind of a rule of thumb that once that baby comes, you want them on their feet within an hour and then nursing within 2 hours. So we've got plenty of time. She's only about an hour old at the moment, and she's clearly looking for that udder. This is one of the parts of the process that honestly probably is easier just to let them figure it out themselves, but I'm too much of a control freak. I'm always getting involved and trying to help, because I just really want to make sure the consequences are big if they don't get it sorted out right. So you can see she's right up by that udder, but she hasn't quite figured out how to get on the teats yet. Something a lot of times we'll do is just kind of, now I'm distracting her, and that's one of the hard parts, but a lot of times I'll just try and point that teat kind of towards her mouth, off to the side a little bit instead of down, until she gets the idea if that's where the milk comes from, but you can see she's really trying, she's really interested. She can smell that milk, but it's a bit of a frustrating process with trial and error until they get on once or twice, and then they know where the good stuff is and there's no stopping them. So we'll be working on that next, and hopefully she'll be eating here before too long. So here we are doing a little work with nursing. She's actually gotten on a few times on her own. This is the first she's been on that side, so it sounds silly, but figuring out the mechanics of the two different sides is a little bit different. She's doing a great job. I kind of just squeeze a little milk in there so she knows she's in the right spot. Gets excited about it. There you go, baby. There you go. And then kind of help try and push that out so she's a little easier approach. Sometimes actually it's easier if they're on the right side to cross over and nurse this side. I don't quite know why, but for some reason it seems like a lot of times that is easier while they're learning the process. So she's figuring things out. I'll stay out with her a little bit longer, make sure she's getting on and off on her own and getting good. You know, you don't want her just to suck, you want her to actually swallow too. Make sure she's getting plenty of milk in there. So come on, baby, you can do it. You can do it. And then she gets distracted and she thinks maybe mom's legs have something good, or she'll decide to walk underneath mom. Hi, cutie pie. But she keeps trying, and practice makes perfect, right? This beautiful sight. She got on by herself. She's been sucking for probably 30 seconds now. No issues. I think we can say she's figuring it out. All right, well, here we are in the evening. Little lady has spent the day getting up, wandering around, eating a snack, and then taking a nap. Pretty normal for first day. She's getting around pretty good on those feet. She's definitely got some wonky legs going on from time inside mom, but those will straighten out over the next couple of days and weeks. So she is cute as can be. Do you want to move around, lady, so we can see you walk? It's not really. I'm good. But yeah, not bad for a first day. Sunny, gorgeous. Tomorrow it's gonna rain all day, so it'll be a whole different picture of life out in the big world.